Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, September 19th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. This life is precious, priceless, valuable. Looking at the sunset just for a second, you forget your separateness, because you are the sunset. This is the moment when you feel the beauty of it. But the moment you say that, it is a beautiful sunset, you are no longer feeling it. You have come back to your separate, enclosed entity of the ego, Osho. So when you're looking at a sunset, just for a second you forgot your separateness, and you realize you are the sunset. And that is the moment when you feel the beauty of it. But the moment you say that it is a beautiful sunset, you are no longer feeling it. You have come back to your separate and closed entity of the ego, Osho. A lot of us have lost people who have ascended out of body. And the only safe place to be on this planet, intimately close to your spiritual essence at the core. It is certain that one day we will leave the body. We'll arrive at our door, and it will come as a great surprise. There will be no warning. So stop all your previous social habits. Let down your guard and allow others to see and know the real person you are. You can learn how to open your heart with any person you meet. This means learning how to let love in and share this bright light that you have inside you with them. You have no idea how it may change their life or yours for the better. Just do it. Who knows? They could be your last opportunity to love. It's so vitally important that we seize this precious life. Leaving the body, or on this planet they call death, will be arriving on its own time schedule and not according to anyone's plans. 1 minute your child is alive, the next minute they're gone. This is the basic fact about life. It ends. The minute we accept this hardcore truth, every moment of our lives become emotionally rich and spiritually wonderful. We discover a sweet reference for life, reverence, and stop taking every breath for granted. The greatest wisdom to keep in the parade of your life is that this too shall pass. Osho. Before you get out of bed each morning, sit and feel the reality of impermanence. For 10 minutes, feel how everything is impermanent. Feel this deep truth in your bones. Nothing and no one in this world is going to remain here forever. Let it penetrate your head, heart, and gut. This is a very ancient meditation practice, and doing it for 3 weeks in a row will transform your life in the most amazing ways. Eventually on this planet, the entire civilization will meditate together, always, and they'll know inherently, all of them, all of us, will know. There is a deep emotional and spiritual release when we realize how everything is impermanent. Notice how you become different when you realize everything around you will one day be gone. Try to remain aware of the impermanence of everything throughout your day, and you will discover the greatest freedom arising within you. You'll naturally start tapping into your deepest connection to that divine essence which continues after this body is gone. When this occurs by itself, you will always be appreciating this incredible blessing, deep eternal love of existence. Accepting your physical mortality is one of the greatest spiritual practices you can take on. Now, as we embrace the fact that nothing is permanent in this world, a sacred humility takes over. The over-demanding ego is embarrassed as it sees the futility of its super important plans. Only through this humble approach to existence can we find stillness, spiritual freedom, and enlightenment. All other non-humble spiritual paths have some sneaky ego still hiding and holding on in the background. Misery nourishes your ego. That's why you see so many miserable people in the world. The basic central point is the ego, Moshe. Misery nourishes your ego. That's why you see so many miserable people in the world. The basic central point is the ego. Death is the most fierce and deeply penetrating spiritual teacher that we can have. It will not let our ego escape alive. Death will always be waiting around the next corner, ready to wipe our entire life clean. It will remove all material possessions from us, all wounds, all people, all our financial problems and future plans. It is guaranteed that one day, whether 1,000 years, 10,000 years, everything will be removed from our grasp. No matter how safe we think we are, this hard truth will remain, perhaps because it has the most profound purpose for our spiritual growth. It forces us to remain awake. We must choose always to appreciate this human life we are given. We have to find reverence, otherwise we suffer. Knowing how very fragile this life is, we become kind to everything that is alive. By remembering our mortality, we are not so quick to getting angry at our loved ones, nor become distant, judgmental, or critical with them. We tend to forgive everyone who has wronged us more quickly and return to loving the real heart and soul connection that we do have. With the awareness that death is approaching, we become more gentle on ourselves, instantly dropping any hard, heavy energy that we may be carrying. We tend to deal with any leftover skeletons holding or hiding in our closet and embrace those things we are avoiding. We remember that we came here to heal ourselves, and so we stop protecting our hearts and from opening up to others. We become radically honest with ourselves and others because we just never know when it's our turn to go. So do something truly radical this coming week. Share with those who are still with you today how you honestly feel. It may be challenging, yet tell them what is going on inside you. Reveal everything. Clear off your emotional plate. Be free to say anything you cannot speak about or say. Be free to say anything you cannot speak about or say. You just don't know when your best friends, family member, or child will leave the body, do you? Let them know how much you actually love them. Rise above any social games you are playing. Stop being afraid of being ridiculed or getting rejected. Take the risk to celebrate your lives and enjoy your short, precious time here together. We truly don't know when it is going to come to a quick end. Man has lost one quality, the quality of zestfulness. And without zest, what is life? Just waiting for death? It can't be anything else. Only with zest do you live. Otherwise, you vegetate. Osho. Man has lost one quality, the quality of zestfulness. And without zest, what is life? Just waiting for death. It can't be anything else. Only with zest do you live. Otherwise, you vegetate. There's only one thing we can do to transcend leaving the body. Embrace it. With welcoming it fully. We will eventually find our way to real inner peace. The acceptance does not mean to start taking more apathetic actions in our lives. This is about finding more reverence in everything. Everything is sacred. When we discover this tremendous appreciation for the simple things, like this breath that is still flowing through our lungs, we will see the fear of living and dying quickly. It will dissolve. If we can truly embrace death or leaving the body, we can totally live life. When we have a deep reverence for this life, we naturally take advantage of every moment to feel that we are alive. We finally arrive into this precious now moment of our lives, where all the puzzle pieces fit in and everything comes to perfection. We can truly rest here. It is the only place. We can let go of it all and fall into resonance with our true spiritual nature. Take this moment to feel into this spiritual essence inside your body. Feel that energy that will remain when your body is gone. Can you feel this eternal energy? The infinite self is here. And if you can find it, reconnect to it all day. You'll soon realize that heaven is already here now. The spiritual effervescence will expand in you and send bubbles of light-filled joy into your heart. Open your life to these bubbles, and you wonder why you were pretending to be so worried, fearful, and concerned about everything in your life. The greatest courage is to drop the mind aside. The bravest man who can see the world without the barrier of the mind, just as it is. It is tremendously different, utterly beautiful. There is nobody who is inferior. There is nobody who is superior. There are no distinctions, Ocean. Another technique to realize, we are infinite beings who will never die. It is to pretend you just died. Is it to pretend you just died? Breathe in this moment as if this was your very last breath. Lay your body down on the bed and imagine that this is your final moment of life. You are breathing your last breaths of life, and soon there will be no more. View all the important scenes from your life. See what truly matters. Your body will, of course, continue to breathe for you. Just let the air enter as slowly and deeply as possible. Fall into the quiet valley after every exhaltation. Every exhalation, for as long and deep as you can. After a few minutes of reviewing your life, stop all mind activity. Relax into the deepest point of stillness that you can find. Follow these meditations for this coming week, and you'll find a sense of completion with your past and a deeper acceptance of your future. The more you practice them, the better your life will become. You'll find that there's no more anxiety about anything or anyone anymore. You'll realize that there is only this moment of life, only this very moment. And this very precious moment is all that we have, all that we will ever have, ever, beyond, and forever. Have fun. Be playful. Remember, you are an eternal being who will never, ever cease, die, however you want to label it. So don't take anything of this world too seriously. This single intention will allow you to totally enjoy your entire human life journey while it's still here. While it's still here. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything good. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes become divine. Do not waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Do not waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. Trust the universe. If you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer an ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. It's about laughing, playing, and enjoying every single moment. Our lives are happening right now. And they are ready to be totally taken. We are the greatest enjoyer of them all. All we care to do is just practice letting in the lightness, and the laughter will come rushing in. And our giggles will guide the way. I'm a lover of reality. When I argue with what is, I lose, but only 100% of the time. I'm a lover of reality. When I argue with what is, I lose, but only 100% of the time. Byron Katie. The greatest beauty of life is that whatever is happening right now is absolutely perfect as it is. With all of our perceived imperfections about ourselves and others, those flaws and frailties are needed on the most intimate levels. Now, for some, this may be difficult for us to believe, yet if you think about it, how could the universe create something that is not supposed to be? How could the universe create something that's not supposed to be? The greatest reality we can experience is to see this perfection and surrender to it. Perfection, by definition, means that no matter what we think, life is always exactly the way it should be. Everything is happening on schedule at the right time and place, especially if we think things arrive early or late. There is a divine timing behind all action. It isn't just stated, oh, it's just divine timing. There is a divine timing behind all action, and to allow ourselves to accept this deeply brings out the deepest experiences of inner peace within each and every one of us. Every person, situation, incident, and desire contains this perfection. Every thought, form that passes through our minds are needed as much as every grain of sand on the beach is required to make the beach whole and complete. There's nothing missing from our lives. Each moment is whole and complete unto itself. The world is just like a gigantic hologram. If you cut it in half, you will see the entire full picture. You cannot divide life into parts and say this part of my life is perfect and this part was not. When the ego likes something and dislikes something else, it thinks that there is something that is missing or is imperfect. This is simply the ego's way of remaining in control of your reality. By creating a perspective that makes you feel small and limited, one day you'll have to release that perspective and return to being vast and unlimited. The true heart of all human beings is the lover of what is. The true heart of all human beings is the lover of what is. Adashanti. Our ego mind is constantly fighting reality. It's trying to change it in favor of some perceived future that looks better, juicier, richer, and more abundant. It is in a constant quest to improve what is, keeping reality at bay, resisting the feeling that perfection in the now moment. Our egos cannot see the beauty of what is because they are not fully present to this now. The ego can only survive by focusing on the future or past storyline, which covers up the divine truth of the present moment. When you're devoted to being here now and dropping the mind completely in its place, then reality, this reality, will find you and devour your suffering. Most people spend very little time free from worry and fear and relaxing into the perfection of the here and now. They miss the beauty, the opportunities, and the love that this life is presenting them. When life becomes a relentless search to fulfill the ego's desires, then true bliss and deep peace is never experienced. This endless search is what keeps us in a perpetual state of challenge, suffering, and frustration. After many, many, many years of trying to achieve the ego's desires, one might see that there are always more there. When we become wise or frustrated enough, one day we will resign from trying so hard to fulfill our desires. That is the day that inner peace and perhaps enlightenment will find you. We live the perfect process created by the universe, and we do that perfectly whether we realize it or not. We live the perfect process created by the universe, and we do that perfectly whether we realize it or not. To stop this endless search that is bringing many of us pain is simple. Just remain open and curious about the now moment. Curiosity is our way out of suffering. By turning our attention towards the now moment, we awake from our ego's story and begin to perceive what really is occurring and not what we think was occurring. These are two different, very different things. Simply start by asking yourself, what is the truth about what is happening right now? What is the truth about what is happening right now? What am I really seeing? What am I really feeling? What and who am I really? Get really curious about what you are perceiving. It takes curiosity to pierce the veils of our ego's illusions. As you ask these questions, the ego mind gets caught up in wondering about the truth of the now moment versus judging what is. From its very narrow perspective, this loosens the ego's grip on its fantasy stories and allows you to begin to tap deeper into the truth of your being. Everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. Everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. Wayne Dyer. We naturally awaken to the perfection of the now moment when we tap into that divinity that resides at our core. Our divine infant nature inherently knows and feels that each experience is perfect. Our divine self does not judge experiences. It just sees them for what they are. Moments in time where we get to play at being human. Our infinite divine selves believe that all experiences that the universe sends our way are complete and whole simply because they exist. There is no wanting to change what is. There is simply a deep feeling of bliss, thankfulness, and acceptance of what is in all its myriads of forms. Paradoxically, completely acknowledging and accepting the perfection of what is happening in your world dramatically shifts your ability to manifest more abundance and goodies into your life. When you drop into the perfection of what is, you don't need to or even want to change anything about your reality. You see it for its beauty and have no attachment to what is happening. This attitude of complete acceptance and surrender is very expansive and carries a high vibrational frequency, which in turn manifests back to you, matching high frequency experiences. When we see the perfection of the now moment, we automatically begin to create even more abundance in our energy field, since all we see is how amazing our lives already are. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are, and the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. Let go, and maybe you don't even know you're holding on. Let go of the stress, fear, and anxiety. Set them on the couch, set them in the room you're in, and ask yourself to each one, why is this fear here? Why am I having this fear? And watch what happens. Why is this worry here? Why do I have this worry? Why am I angry? Why do I have this anger? This is a release every single time. And do you think that as each moment goes by staying in the moment, a lot of this stuff doesn't come in? Okay? Understanding it's all an illusion. You're driving the vehicle. The vehicle is physical life. And literally, it's a game. And you're the God that's in the game. And you know you're in the game. And you know that vehicle, its tires will not last forever. But it's just a game. So taking it seriously is the wrong direction, even though there's no right or wrong. Not being so serious, you start to realize why you have pain and suffering. You release all of this toxic energy that we all absorb, none of us are exempt, that is heavy, that we drag, and then we get irritable. And then we get upset, and then we get stressed, and then we get fearful. And then we have more worry, and more worry. It's just it's a constant. And then we're the only ones that can alleviate it or end it. It's no different than in the hammock between two shade trees where you're just dozing off. You're not asleep. You don't have a care in the world. You can feel a light breeze. You can see shadows of leaves rustling. Your eyes are closed. You're not asleep. But you're not thinking about anything. You're in this zone, this void. And nothing is disturbing you, worrying you, stressing you, or fearing you. You're not there because you've opened the door to the God that you are. And you're just being. You have no stress about, oh, I got to get going, or I got to do this, or this has got to be done, or I got to do that. It's all gone. And you've let go all the worry, stress, fear, anxiety, everything. It's all gone. In that moment, in that mode, you're coming very close to being reintroduced to the God that you are. And when you do that, and you listen to the breath, your breath, you listen to it, which means you focus on it. And what does the breath do? It moves you in the now. And you're no longer engaged with the ego mind or the subconscious mind. You've left them alone. And all the pain and suffering is gone. It's eliminated. It vanishes. Of the illusion it was is no more. When we understand that everything we're creating, everything is an illusion. It's to entertain us. It's so that we can experience. Now, obviously, if you went to someone and said, well, hey, Alice, this is, all this stuff is not real. But we create our own reality. And then we live it. We move energy into form, whether it be negative or positive energy. And we attract every frequency that you are attracts whatever the frequency is that you're sending out. Whatever it is, you will attract more of it. That's a guarantee. That's a universe guarantee. So it's very important to be mindful of what you're putting out there in your vibrational frequency. Only when you're relaxed, only when that body's relaxed and you're in the now and you're focused on your breath, is all that chatter, all that nonsense vaporize. And what happens is pain and suffering leaves. So we know we're not the body. We know that the body carries us so we can experience this wonderful physical life. And we know that we power the body so the body can carry us. So when we look at the body, you can see going right through the body, from the tailbone to top of the head, these chakras, wheels. Chakra means wheel. And these are wheels of light. And they're etheric and they're spiritual, just like the gods we are. We're etheric and spiritual. We're not, physical skin, flesh, and bone. We exist in a much higher plane than the body. So what are they for? Why are they there? So the God, you, can flow through that body effortlessly. Now sometimes these wheels of light, they get out of kilter due to obstructions, emotionalities, traumas, whatever. So the God doesn't flow as well when that happens. So now, if you were perfectly clear and conscious that you are the God, not the body, then it'd be a blink of the eye. And they would always be aligned. So you flow through all the blood, all the tissue, everything in that body, all the organs, every quark, mitochondria, you flow 24/7 through it. And the God isn't unconscious about doing that. You are. Because you don't know you're the God. That's why you can't heal the body. Not yet. Doesn't it make sense that you, the God, flows through that body 24/7? You know more about that body than anybody on this planet. Or any God in any body. You know specifically the body that you're in. Now, we know that the soul enters these bodies and powers them up. And as long as the soul is in the body functions. If the body becomes too damaged and you are not connected with the God, then the God is forced to leave the body. So the soul powers the body, and then the breath. Everything comes online, starts functioning. Now, the mother powers that body until your soul, the God, enters it and leaves the mother's body. Then you are fully in command of that body. So we know the soul is heaven. The God, the pure consciousness, is heaven, and the body is earth. And we also know, those of us who are consciously aware to a certain extent, that every single step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. That we are shining the light, the God that we are, pure consciousness, we are shining that outward 360 degrees. Highest of the highest high, purest of the purest purest, and the deepest of the deepest deepest eternal love. It's flowing everywhere. Everywhere. Non-stop. Doesn't come and go. Doesn't diminish. Doesn't weaken. It is eternally persistent, flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. So if you were to go in outer space and to look at this planet, you would see that it glowed very brightly. And you would also see the universe, and nothing in that universe can come anywhere near the brightness of this planet. A God planet paradise. Now, we know that we have parts of us, the gods that we all are, that we have parts of us that are asleep. And you could, put a bucket of ice water and slap them silly, and they're not going to wake up. But then there are other parts of us that are consciously aware of who and what they are. These are the parts that we seek of ourselves that come into this meditation. And that is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That includes the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes. That includes the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. All the galactics, off-worlders, and celestials. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All the light energy beings on this planet, because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we don't see them. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations, nonstop. And the ones that we're kind of familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, the galactics, off-worlders, and celestials, there's over 1,000 species and civilizations that traverse through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. The Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. Now they, in particular, have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But boy, do we meet with them. We meet with them through many lifetimes. And usually it's after we've met with them that we realize in this life that was an angel. And you feel like a euphoric, it's like a bliss, a high bliss. And they've been sending us the same message over and over again forever. It just comes in many different ways, situations and circumstances. And when you bring it into total simplicity, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And that is bliss. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. The Ascended Masters, they have mastered ascending into physical form and out of physical form and hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And the numbers of us are astronomical because we're all parts, all gods, all parts of each other, no matter what physical form we're inhabiting. So in the Gugaplexes, one Gugaplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. And we're talking trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes. That doesn't mean that they're all consciously aware. It means that some are, some aren't. Parts of us are, parts of us aren't. But we're in the hundreds of millions, past the billion, on and off world. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy, is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the highest of the highest high, and the purest of the purest purest, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, eternal love. And that is us. All of us, each and every one of us, the gods that we are. And it is flooding this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside and out, above and below, everywhere. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take a billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. We begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's this massive ball that's trillions of reflective mirrors flashing everywhere, multicolored, constantly. The speed of light. And we go to the reflective points, which are tiny little microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we go into them, and we discover that all of us, all, consciously and unconsciously, are learning and teaching each other. Learning from each other, teaching each other. Teaching ourselves, learning from ourselves. Teaching others, learning from others. All the time, no matter who enters your life, no matter what you see. You could learn from a bird, a leaf, a tree, a cloud. You can learn from so many different aspects of the God, of you. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We're then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, eternally, with a white fire armor. This armor emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within each and every one of us. It isn't anything like any armor on this planet. It is way beyond. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. It doesn't wane. It doesn't lose energy. It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't disintegrate. We are permanently protected 24/7. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through anger, hate, fear, greed, envy, hurry, anticipation, expectation, attachment, worry, stress, fear, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with a double column of light. The first one is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column of light to remind us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all the lower dark matter, lower dark frequency, survival matter frequencies, into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are totally vaporized and no more. Immediately, the second column of light is the violet ray. We created this column of light to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in a white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the purest of the purest, and the deepest of the deepest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, each and every one of us, that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the sun sets and the sun rises. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forests. We are the soils. We are the clouds, the skies. We are the mountains. We're everything. Everything is us. The God's within us. So the next time you do see a sunset or a sunrise, starry lit night sky, an ocean view, ocean front, a rainbow, is you, the God within that body. You're the beauty, the majesty, the divineness, the perfection. It is you. It always has been. It always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above this planet. And as we do, we come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. It's larger than the solar system. We created it. And in the center column, there's this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, there's this huge golden white bowl of light. And surrounding the bowl of light are multicolored ribbons, rings of light. And we're all sending these massive mist of energy, sparkle, that absorbs into us, blends into us nonstop. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude. Then comes peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance, endless, forever. And then we discover that all of it is the God's within us. It is a reflection of who and what we are. And at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, exactly as it's doing right in this very now. And it is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, flooding all life, highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside and out. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also contain the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We continue to ascend. Some of us decide to step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come in immediate contact with our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere well over 3.5 years ago. It contains nearly 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of us gathered here on this planet from all existence. Those that are asleep, that don't listen, can't hear. Those that are awake. All concentrating with the deepest love, peace, joy, gratitude of the liberation of this planet and all life, highest supreme value in the universe. And you can feel these waves of God love energy. They're unending, and they're all reflections of us, the gods that we are. The true heart of all human beings is the lover of what is. I'll join you in the meditation, return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out the mouth. Move easily and slowly. God is there only if you surrender. Surrender makes anything God. Surrender gives you the eyes, and everything that is brought to these eyes becomes divine. Don't waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. Trust the universe. If you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. And this life is no longer an ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. And you are the God overflowing. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, September 20th, 2021, to continue our global guided meditation call.